Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The first story that I'm going to be sharing with you, it comes from a Shona translation. I'll give you a brief narration of that message. I'll try to remember to send the link to this episode to our dear sister. She wants medical advice. Our dear sister has been saying that she loves to see blood. She is saying that there are times when she cuts herself and she enjoys looking at the blood that will be coming out. She does not know what is going on with her. The scariest part about her story, she said that she once borrowed this other woman money. After she had borrowed that woman the money, then she started complaining to that woman and saying that she wanted her money back. When she went to visit that woman at her house, she found out that there was a lot of food that was on the table, and then the woman told her that she only had about half of that money, and then she accepted the money. But this angered her, that the friend had been eating nice food, but she was unable to pay her in time. Later on in that evening, she said because of the anger that she had, she could not sleep. She waited for her husband when he was fast asleep. She woke up as if she wanted to go to the bathroom and slowly got out of the room that they are renting, she and her husband. She walked in the middle of the night in the location. She said when this was happening, she felt that her heart was racing so fast, not because she was afraid, but because of what she wanted to do. This was what she wanted to do. She wanted to go and to see if she can be able to watch that woman whilst she was fast asleep. She walked into that woman's yard. She walked to her window of her bedroom where she was sleeping with her husband. She was quite excited and happy to find out that they had left the curtain wide open and she was able to see them. They were sleeping on their bed. She said whilst she was watching this couple busy sleeping, they had no idea that there was someone that was watching them. Then she started to touch herself. This is the scariest part. She was touching herself whilst she was watching that woman, her friend, and her husband in bed, fast asleep. She said that she had never enjoyed touching herself like she did on that night. And then she returned back home and she was so excited. She does not know what is happening with her. So she is asking for any advice. She was like, even if there are people that are in the medical field that listen to your shows, please just ask them what causes someone to do something like that, to go and then you just wait and you look at the people that are busy sleeping, then you touch yourself like that as a woman. Why would you want to cut yourself and you enjoy the blood that will be coming out? So that is the brief narration of the message that our dear sister sent to us. Let us try to give him advice in the comment section. Then there is another message as well that I got from our dear sister, and the message, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Please post my story as unknown. Never judge anyone, especially you who are rich. You're not supposed to judge those that are poor and suffering. Like in my own case, I don't judge anyone because I know that if it was not for the rituals that I was doing, I was not going to be where I am right now. I am where I am because of the rituals that I did. I sold Magwinya at taxi rank, and I never thought that it was going to get me this far. Please hide my name. I am using a ghost account because there are people that know me. A lot of people, they do respect me because I am a businesswoman. I do get a few tenders. Some people, they even come to me asking for advice, and I do advise people, especially young women who want to start businesses. But if they knew that everyone has his or her own story to tell, my story will drive them away from me. If they knew everything about how my journey really started, I don't think that they would listen to me the same way. I don't even know why I am confessing now, but I think that I just need to confess. Maybe it is because life has slowed down a bit. I am no longer performing those rituals anymore. And now I finally have time to think about life. What is the meaning of life? That is the question that has been on my mind for a very long time. I am a successful woman, but I do have a past that haunts me. You can call me Tandi. I'm a South African woman born and raised here in Joburg. Between 2009 and 2011, my life was very different. Back then, I was selling Magwinya scones as well as tea at taxi ranks in Joburg. And I used to sell at different ranks, walking around, even with my daughter, different corners, wherever I could fit my table without being chased away, really. Some mornings I would work near MTN taxi rank, other days closer to smaller local ranks where commuters will be rushing to work. So I had tried before this. I would try by all means to make sure that my things can get sold that I would have baked the previous night. But there was one time when I was working close to this other Mozambican man and woman. I felt to even sell even one guinya. That was something that had never happened in my life. So I was wondering, why is it that the people that were close to me, they were able to sell as much as they wanted, but as for me, I was here struggling, thinking about going and giving this Magwinya at a cheaper price to other people that would resell them. So I went to that man, and then I asked that man, how was it even possible that they were selling a lot whilst I was not selling anything? Then they said, we just sell these things and we sell them cheap, and the price, it was not much of a difference, only 50 cents. It was not making sense for me anymore. Wake up 3 a.m., boil kettles of tea, and sometimes I'll be doing it outside, cooking on the fire, but it was as if I was not even going anywhere with my life. Some days I sold everything. Some days I would go back home with nothing to show for it. At home, I was the breadwinner. I had a family that looked up to me, and I had relatives whom wanted me to assist them. Some of them that were in KZN, who thinks that Joburg means automatic money. I just wanted someone to assist me. So one day, the wife of that Mozambican man was not around. That was when I got the opportunity to speak with that man. I approached him and I said, you need to tell me, how is it possible that you make so much sales? Within 2 hours, those people, they would have brought new stuff, they would have sold everything. They even had a baki that they had bought from selling Magwinya as well as tea. But as for me, I was struggling to make ends meet. This man, he looked at me and he said, it is by the grace of God. And I said, please tell me, I know that you are from Mozambique. Is there anything else that you are using? Then this man, he said to me that he had a charm. This type of a charm, they use it even in Mozambique. If you are someone that sells things in town, if you are using that charm, what it means that every other person that will be busy selling fruits, whatever that they will be selling, when you are around, it means that all their customers will come to you. And then it started to make sense. And I said, that is why these people, when they started working close to me, I was not making any sales, because before it was a little bit better, but now I was not making anything. So he made it clear that this was the reason as to why I was unable to make a lot of money. Then I started feeling bad about it. I started to pray, destroying all the works of the devil so that I can be able to sell my things without using any charms. But I started to feel angry at God. I would pray, I would fast, I would go to the church, but it did not even work. I was the one that was losing. But I think that when the devil wants you, he will do things to you that will make you run to him. My mother, she got so sick and I had no money. One day when I was at work, that was when I approached that Mozambican man, and then I told him that I had made up my mind. I wanted him to help me with those charms. He said, my daughter, you should have told me when I went to Mozambique, I could have brought this charm with you. I then said, what am I going to do because I want this charm? He then said, okay, it's fine. There is another traditional healer that stays in our location. I'll ask him, then I will tell you if there is something that he can give to you. I waited for about a week or so, and then he came back to me with a good response, and he said that 2,000 rands, that is the consultation fee, we can go and he can help you. So after we had knocked off around 10 a.m., then we went to that location. When we arrived, there were some people. I waited in the queue. Those Mozambican people, they just left me at the Sangoma's house. And then I paid the money, and my name was written in a black book, so that even if tomorrow I die, if anything happens to my family, they have to go to Malawi, and the family of that traditional healer will tell them what is it that is supposed to be done so that my family can be cleansed. Because what I did is that I sold my soul, not like the way that you know of selling your soul in Satanism. This is different. When I die, my spirit will go to Malawi to be used at that shrine. That is the type of ukutwala that I did. So after I had written my name on that piece of paper, then I was then taken into the consultation room. I was then asked, what is it exactly that I wanted in life? I told the healer that I wanted money, and then he said, I am not going to make you rich. You're going to be working, you're going to have a nice company. What you are doing right now, selling Magwinya, you're going to forget about it, but this is going to be your stepping stone. He then said that he wanted to help me to do ukutwala rituals, but the ones whereby I don't have to sacrifice my daughter, to sacrifice anything, but to sacrifice my own self, to sacrifice my bodily fluids. I did not understand that. He asked me the days when I go on my period. I told him, and he said it's fine. He was writing everything down as we were busy talking. So then he gave me a small clay pot, and then he said to me, this clay pot that I have given to you, I want you to use it. Whenever you are on your period, you use this. He then gave me a bigger one, and then he said, after you would have washed yourself with the water that you would have put in this clay pot throughout the day, you pour this water into a small bucket. You don't mix it with any soap. Then you bath yourself only down there. When you are on your period, you don't bath. You only bath yourself down there. But make sure that this water falls back into the bucket. When you are done, you pour that water into this bigger clay pot. And then you put the painting that you would have worn throughout the day, you soak it in there. You soak it. Then when you are mixing your flour, you use water, normal water from the tap, but you also mix it with this water. And when you are on your period, you do the same. When you are back from work, first you wash your private part without using any soap, and then make sure that the water falls into the bucket. You put it into the big clay pot. You take the panty as well, even if you are putting any panty liner and the tight that you'll be wearing, all of them, you soak it in there. Don't mix the water with soap. Don't let soap touch this clay pot. And after you are done doing that, you can go and you can bath with water and soap, and you can even do anything that you want, but make sure that you do not touch the clay pot with your hands having soap, because things will go bad. I was told that to keep these things underneath my bed, since I was staying alone Even though I was staying at my family's house, it was easy. My door was always locked. These clay pots, they stayed underneath the bed. The first month I did it. When I was on my period, I would return back from work, take that panty and put it in the clay pot, including the panty liner as well as the skin tight, soak the water in them after I would have bathed. Then when I am mixing the flour to cook the magwinya as well as the scones, I will use it to mix the flour. When I am on my period again, I used to do the same. I started making money. There were people that would wait for me if I would take too much time before I would have arrived at the taxi rank early in the morning when people are going to work. They want to buy magwinya, they want to buy a cup of tea so that they can drink to chase away the cold. There were people that would wait for me because of the way that they had gotten addicted to my bodily fluids. I worked, my brother. I started making a lot of money. For the first time in my life, I started thinking about going to a dealership so that I can buy a car. I managed to buy a car, a small buggy that I bought. Then I started to think about my success, what I wanted in life. The years that followed, my brother, I was busy doing this, but I went back to studying. I started doing some small courses, short trainings, business workshops, and these are the things that I did even though I was doing ukutwala, for my money was not magic money. Then finally, I owned a small consulting business. I helped small organizations plan better, manage systems, organize operations. Nothing flashy, it is just stable work. I have a couple of workers. I pay my bills, I eat properly, I sleep properly. My kids, they have good education, going to good schools. People, they just think that my success came easy. It did not come easy. When I saw that my company was now doing okay, that was when I went back to that Malawian man. That was when I was told that the purpose for my name, it being written in that book, it shows that my spirit, it belongs to his ancestors. When I die, I am not going to be resting with my ancestors because I sold my soul so that I can be able to chase away poverty that had been afflicting me all of my life. So nothing bad has ever happened. I've never seen anything that is scary. I returned those clay pots that I was using in my business. There were times, brother, that I used to pray, but this is the question that I still have in my mind. I don't know if God really cares for us, because before I had done these rituals, I prayed so hard to God. I fasted. Like now I do go to church, but I only go to church because I have a good life. Back then I used to go to church wanting God to bless me, but no blessings ever came my way. Even though I am at peace with myself, I don't know still if God forgave me completely. I don't know if there are other consequences that are waiting for me quietly. Maybe one day I'm going to start seeing things that are scary. But when I returned those clay pots, that Malawian man made it clear to me that all is okay. I had done good to return the clay pots as good as he had given them to me. No scratches, and I did not break them. I did not do anything bad. He said that it is time for those clay pots to be returned back to Malawi, and I had been lucky that he had assisted me. And I would rather stay clean now. I'll never do any ukutwala rituals. I am not sharing this to brag. I'm sharing this because I see so many women online. When they see other women or a man making it in life, all that they wish is to become like them. But you do not know what the things people do at night. Like in my own situation, you see the company, you see the people that work for me, my kids, the car that I drive. But there were days when I used to cook food that I would give to people, food that I knew very well that I was using period water that I would have used to wash my private part. Then I would bake scones, and people, they loved them. I really do not know why, but this is my story. Right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our DM sister. Let us speak with our sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Tell me what you think in the comment section. There is another message that I'm going to be sharing with you, and it reads like this. Hello, how are you, brother? I used Lucky Oil to get a job, and now I am worried because at my workplace there are people that are dying. So, brother, I have come here using a fake account. Please hide my name because I'm scared that people at my workplace, they know me, and maybe they will end up just thinking that this is me, and then they will connect the story. And if they connect this story to my real name, my life will be finished. I really do not even know how to start this properly. My mind is not straight. When I think about these things, maybe I will end up repeating myself, confusing dates, but I need to talk to you because I might be losing my mind. I am a Zimbabwean man. I stay in Durban. This story, it started a long time ago. The year it was in 2012. Back then, I was nothing special. I was just another foreign guy struggling to survive. I had papers, that was okay, but I had job problem, everything problems. I was working piece jobs. I have a ZEP permit, so it was really painful for me that I had a permit but I could not get a job. I worked any kind of piece jobs, warehouses, construction, loading trucks. I once worked for this other Indian man. We had no forklift. We would load cement into trucks using our heads. Being shouted at, being called someone that is stupid. And if you do not have connections in South Africa, it's very hard to get a job. Someone then told me about a job opening at an Indian-owned warehouse. It was a big operation, and there was men that we needed there because it also had only one forklift and it was too busy. So he wanted men that were very powerful. I applied there too many times and I got rejected, but I heard that the Indian man, he was preferring Zimbabweans because he wanted them to be used so that they can lift some heavy stuff. I was so desperate. I then spoke with one friend of mine from church, and this was someone that was not a close friend. It was just someone that I talked to, but he was successful in life. And I said, I really do not know, man of God, if I will ever be able to get a job in South Africa. I'm thinking of returning back to Zim. He then told me that he was going to borrow me his Lucky Oil. I said, oh, as Christians, are we allowed to use Lucky Oil? Then he said, look at me. Then you can just decide for yourself. And I said, yeah, that is the truth. I have been praying. Lucky Oil I've not been using, but here I am. I am jobless, but this man is driving a very beautiful car. So he said that the Lucky Oil that he was going to borrow to me, it will open favors. It will make people see me different. He said many people, they use it and nothing happens. One day he called me and he said, man of God, Muno Wamari, meaning man of God, are you there at your place? He was in the neighborhood. He stayed in the suburbs, but he had came to the location to visit other people from church. And I said, oh yes, I'm at home. He then came. He was driving a Navara at that time, and he came to my house and he said, man of God, I've brought that Lucky Oil for you. So this thing, it is not supposed to be in the light. He had wrapped this Lucky Oil bottle inside a bag. Then he had a blanket covering that bag so that no light will ever come close to that bottle. We entered into my house. Since this was like in broad daylight, he said, what are we going to do here? I said, I don't know. He said, okay, I have an idea, because we tried to close all the curtains, but the light was still coming in. I was staying in a shack by then. He said, man of God, how about you put your hands underneath the bed, then I give you the Lucky Charm oil bottle, then you just put it onto your hand and then you just rub it on your face so that it won't see daylight. And I said, yeah, that is a great idea. We then I had 2 big blankets. We made sure that we covered the other side of the bed. Then we slept with our bellies down and we had our hands underneath the bed. He opened the zip of his bag and he pulled out that Lucky Charm oil bottle. Then he gave it to me and we had covered ourselves with another blanket so that no light will ever reach that lucky oil bottle. I took it, then I rubbed myself with it. I did not even think deeply because I was tired of struggling. I said, if this is what is going to give me a chance to get a better job, then let it be. I was tired of being jobless. I used it, brother. I rubbed that oil only once on my forehead. And then he said, you are going to make it. You are going to get that job. Don't worry about calling that man. Just go and stand at the gate. Even if security chases you away, just stand until the Indian drives into his yard or outside. Once he sees you, something is going to happen. I did so. I went and I waited close to the gate. The security even chased me and he said, stand on the other side of the road. You can't be standing here. So I stood on the other side of the road. Then I saw the Indian boss. He was driving. He looked at me and he kept on looking at me because there was a lot of traffic. He quickly just parked his car close to the gate and he spoke with the security whilst he was pointing at me. Then I heard the security calling me and I was excited. I got the job. Not only did I get the job, I was noticed very fast by the boss. Within months, I was trusted. I was given responsibility, allowed to supervise others, and the excuse was that I was someone that had high literacy, but it was a lie. It was because of that lucky charm. The managers, South African or Indian, they liked me. They said that I was a good man, a hard worker. I was shocked and I was happy. In 2014, someone who was working directly under me got promoted. He was an older guy. He had been working for this Indian man for quite a long time. He was a good guy. He had a family. He was never jealous about anything. We even would braai with him at his house. This man, he was just diagnosed with cancer. Then he died. So I just thought that maybe it is life. Those that are good, they die first. In 2016, another colleague near my section got promoted. Same thing. Same cancer, he passed away. At that time, I started to feel uncomfortable, but I started to have dreams, bad dreams about the way that I had used that lucky charm, but I just thought that maybe it was just me feeling guilty. In 2018, it happened again, another promotion. The guy, he died. In 2020, there was a Zimbabwean man that started working with us. He passed away. 5 people have died at the place where I am working. As for me, I am promoted. I use the car that the Indian boss's wife was using before. I stay in an area where Indians are staying. My boss pays for the house. He loves me as if I am his own son. In 2024, I attended a Masowe church service here in Durban. I just went there because I just wanted to help out my girlfriend who was saying that she was having bad dreams, and we just went to that Masowe church. During the prophecy, the prophet then said to me, I want you, Baba, to come back alone because I have something that I want to tell you. Then I said, God, these people, they have started. I'm sure that he has seen the car that I am driving. I just gave him 200 rand and I said, just buy a drink. But when I was home, I started to think about it and I said, maybe there is a reason as to why this man wants me to come and see him. I then called him after work and I asked him if he was available, and he told me that yes, he was available. So this man, my brother, what he told me, it has terrified me. It still terrifies me to this very day. This man told me that I once used lucky charm, and that lucky charm is now a tokoloshi. This tokoloshi, it is mine, and it hurts anyone. When he said that I have a tokoloshi, I felt cold as I was kneeling down in front of him, and I said, man of God, I don't know anyone that I hate. I don't have any enemies. And he said, you have enemies. I've seen that you have enemies. And I said, which enemies are you talking about? And then he said, I have seen 5 men that are standing in front of you. These men, they are saying that you are the one that have killed them. They are all pointing at you. You have a tokoloshi, man of God, and you are supposed to be cleansed. And for you to be cleansed, I can cleanse you at a cheaper price, but I want you to bring back that lucky charm oil bottle that you once had, so that we can destroy it, because that bottle, that is where this tokoloshi stays. As long as that bottle is somewhere, then this tokoloshi will keep on killing people. And I said, but these men that you are saying that I killed at work, they were my friends. I never hated them. And then he said to me, this tokoloshi is very sensitive. If someone gets promoted at work, since this was a charm for you to get a job, you are supposed to be the only one that is loved by the boss. No one else is supposed to be loved. So when someone receives a promotion, it's like a boss is giving a signal, a wrong signal to your tokoloshi, that I now favor this person and I do not favor your. The signal will be like the boss when he would have promoted someone. It's like the boss will be sending a wrong signal to the tokoloshi, and the tokoloshi will read this signal as if the boss does not like you anymore, and he favors that other person that he would have promoted. When he told me this, I felt so much guilty, and I said, this is why all these people passed away. I did not even have any idea, my brother. I returned back to that man and I said, please help me out so that I can get cleansed, and I need that lucky charm oil. He says to me, I threw it into the ocean a very long time ago. I saw that I don't need it anymore. I threw it when I went on a vacation with my wife to Cape Town. I literally cried when he told me that he threw that lucky charm oil bottle in the ocean. This man, I don't know if he is telling me the truth, if he is lying, but without this lucky charm oil bottle, I can't get cleansed. This is my confession, my brother. Never accept things from people that will be assisting you, especially if they are herbs and charms, because in the future you might be facing a lot of problems and you won't know where you got those tokoloshis from. Dear listeners, where there was a message that was sent to me by our brother, that was a narration, hoping that you were able to understand. It came from a Shona confession. Let us speak with our brother in the comment section. Yeah, strange things they do happen in this world. If you are enjoying these long episodes, just hit the like button. If you can also, you can share the videos so that we can reach a lot of people. Thank you very much for watching and being loyal subscribers to our channel. We appreciate you quite a lot.